You see your own inner light with your eyes closed. For instance, when you fall asleep, we call that a hypnagogic state. In this state, just between being awake and sliding into a sleep, you might see light phenomena behind your closed eyes. Sometimes, if I close my eyes, I see a dark blue grid, a little bit like this swimming pool in the summer, with cloudy patterns of light emerging from this dark blue grid. The grid is endless and morphs relatively quickly after a couple of seconds into morphing clouds of light, which after some seconds morph again into fields of flowers or fields of jewels, impossible to describe, and therefore we will dive deeper in this phenomena of seeing light behind the closed eyes, called Phosphenes, in the hypnagogic state, which is easy to reach for each of you. You don't need to be a great meditator to fall into a hypnagogic sleep and see these light patterns. Andreas Mavromatis wrote in 1991 a book on hypnagogic phenomena, and in this book we find also descriptions of Phosphenes, either during the hypnagogic sleep or the hypnopompic sleep. So hypnagogic is if you fall asleep, and hypnopompic is when you wake up. This is the book we're gonna study in a bit more detail. So in this book the author writes about the visual phenomena you can see when you fall asleep, and he describes it in great detail, and you can see in these pages. The inner light can have many different forms, from just visual light grids and clouds and nebula up to whole landscapes and flower fields and clouds of light, more or less bright, morphing into other phenomena like jewels, fields of flowers, or kaleidoscopic images, which can start from the clouds, slowly morph into light grids or into patterns of light or into whole landscapes of light. The internal phosphenes have a tendency to morph sometimes so quickly that you cannot follow them. They morph even into human faces or into divine beings or into, as you can see here, fractalized fields of light. And from these fractalized fields of light, which you can also see in, for instance, ayahuasca meditations or into deep Zen meditations, these fields of light morph again in fields of jewels or various light objects like vortices, and many more, as you can find out if you read this description here from his book. In his description you see also the hierarchical structure of the phosphenes, starting as clouds or threads of light and then morphing into more complicated structures, even into landscapes or into divine celestial beings. And he also points out that this inner light can be seen most easily with closed eyes in a very dark room, but even if there is light, they can be seen on the background, and sometimes even in bright daylight you can see them. So mostly occurring during the phase where you fall asleep. Here the author tried to depict some of these phosphenes, but he also clearly indicates that phosphenes morph so quickly and are so ethereal that it's extremely difficult to describe them or to depict them. We have tried to depict a couple of phosphenes, but clearly that is extremely complicated. However, we have, based on our experiences, a number of hypotheses related to phosphenes. These inner light patterns define the content of our dreams. That is, we build on these phosphenes our own dreams. The phosphenes are internationally seen by everyone in this earth, and thus it is cross-cultural. They can also be seen in deep meditation, especially if you meditate in the dark. And then the meditator can experience these light patterns as divine light or divine light beings, as Buddhas or as Devas or as saints, ascended saints, or as Jesus, or as any Buddha from the history of spirituality. All the beings which we depict in a halo, an aura of light, can be seen in the twilight zone between sleep and wakeness, or in deep states of meditation. The phosphenes can be seen from an objective, neutral point of view without interfering, but you can also change your attitude and invite the divine light to make more contact with you, or you with the divine light. You can invite it in whatever shape or in whatever modality to enter your being and to deeply connect with it, because what you see is your own inner light, and that can be the Christ in you.